Okay, so we're going to be going over Microsoft Stream, and Stream is Microsoft's kind of video hosting platform. You can host live events, you can record your screen, or you can just upload pre-existing videos. And when you get them in there, there are some original ways that you can organize them and share them with other people inside your organization. And so with that in mind, we're just going to jump in and we're going to upload a video, and you'll see the workflow, and we'll talk about it as we go through it. And then we'll organize that video, look at some of the other ones I have in here, and then use some of the other functions. So we'll just start out by going into the upper left-hand corner here on the toolbar, left click on Create, and we'll choose Upload Video. So you'll just get a blank screen here that says, drag your videos here or browse to upload. So I'll just browse to upload, I guess. It brings up your file picker. I know I have it on my desktop. So we'll do the video called Microsoft Forms Create a Quiz, right? So we want to tell people in our organization how to make a quiz. And you just get this dialog box here that says it's uploading. It wants the name, but it picked the file name and put it in there just to help me out. So I'm actually going to leave that because that's good. And we'll do a short description. I'd say it's a walkthrough of creating a quiz, and I'll use a little hashtag here because you can use those to organize and search also in Forms. Now it asks the language of the video, and it's going to listen to it and create subtitles so you can help it out. And I'll just tell it that this one's in English. There's a bunch of different ones now you can choose from, but we'll leave it on that. And it's going to auto create a thumbnail. So it has three choices here, or you can left click on the plus and grab one from your computer somewhere if you have one made. We'll just let it create its own thumbnail. I'll trust it. The next category is permissions. So this is one of the areas that Microsoft Stream is kind of unique because it allows you to organize your videos by groups. So these can be the pre-existing groups that are already in your Microsoft 365 organization, or you can do channels. And that's something that we'll create in Stream in a little bit, and you'll see what that means, or specific people. So this one, let's say I want to do it in a group, and you can create a group right here, or you can start typing the group. I have one group set up in this account, so we'll put it in that one. We're going to put it into expand into Northwest Territories. But what you can also do is add it to a channel, which is a different concept in Stream. And we'll do that here as well. So you'll see. So I'm going to add it to a channel, and I have one called Other Microsoft Apps. So we'll left click on that. And you see there's different icons here and different options. So let's say we're good with how that's laid out for now. We'll look at these other options. So you can control whether or not people can comment on your video. It just depends what the content is and what you're trying to do with it. And you can let it auto-generate captions. And just be careful because sometimes, as you probably know from trying to talk into your phone, sometimes the computers get your what you're saying right, and sometimes they don't. So I would check your captions carefully. And you can upload a subtitle if you want, a subtitle file. So what that's going to be is a subtitle file would have the description already of when you're talking and what you're saying. So it would match right up. And one last kind of really original thing that Microsoft Stream put into these videos is that if you come over to the right-hand side and you left click on interactivity, so it was on transcript, I've clicked on interactivity, you can add a form to the video. So if you left click on form, you will have had to have made the form already. So you would come to Microsoft Forms, create a form. So I have one here. You come to the share options, so left click on share, and you want to grab this address. So copy that, come back to Stream, right click, and paste that in. Now let's give the form a name. Let's just call it survey, and we'll decide where in the video to put it. So just move around a little playhead marker there. We'll say we want it at 50 seconds. Left click on add the timeline. And then this survey will show you how it comes up. In the middle of the video, it stops the video, puts it full screen inside the video player and makes you answer all these questions. So obviously these are just questions that I already chose, but you can do them however you want to gather data, and they submit it. And so those answers will go into Microsoft Forms. You'll be able to look at them later. And then once it's submitted, the user can left click on continue to video and they can keep watching. Now, if you go to share this, there are some interesting options. But the first one to keep in mind, this is not sharing this publicly. The recipient still has to be an Office 365 user, and even on top of that, Office 365 within your organization. So that greatly limits Microsoft Stream, but at the same time, it kind of defines what it is, right? So it's for internal sharing. So you don't have to worry about this getting distributed in the wrong place. But if you want to give this to someone, but you don't want it to start until, let's say, 2 minutes in, you add that timestamp there. If you look at the URL, it just appended 120 seconds to it. So if you copy this URL and you, let's just say, email it to someone, they're going to start watching the video at 2 minutes. And you could email it straight from here. You could type someone's name in, it's going to pre-populate. Or you can embed this in a web page. So it's still going to be viewable only by Office 365 users. But you can control some of the settings here. So you can make it larger or smaller. They'll still be able to maximize it, but this would just be the amount of room that it takes up on the screen. You can set it to start playing right away. If you're like me, you don't really like your web pages to start right away and make sound. You want to be able to control that, but there may be a situation where you want that on. And if you make it responsive, that means it's going to automatically shrink down if there's a smaller screen size. I would think you would typically leave that one on, and then just the information, if you turn it off, the video loads without those stats on the front that you just saw. And after we got all those settings, then you would copy that URL and use that for sharing. So let's left click on publish, and we're done with that. So let's go to my content and see what it looks like. So I'll left click on my content, and first we'll just click on videos. And this is all the videos that I have in here, and there's a little bit of information about them. So 0 views and 0 people liked it. It's hard, and no comments. But obviously, if you're in a large organization, you'll start to see those, and then you can kind of sort by those parameters as well. So if you want to see what's most popular, sort by views. And then some of the other things that we just changed are shown over on the right-hand side. So you can see right now it's visible to the organization. So anyone at your company can see it. And you can also add it to other groups and channels from here. So let's look at the group concept. If I left click on groups, this is my one group. And you can see that it has 2 videos in it when you hover over that. And then this icon is showing that those videos are also in a channel. So let's left click on this group. And here's the 2 videos that are in it. And then you can also create channels just for a specific group. So there's kind of several layers there. The channels don't have to be in a group, but they could be. Let's go back to my content and look at channels. So I made a few channels here to organize some videos in. And the difference between the groups and the channels is the groups can be pre-existing and the channels can just be relevant to Microsoft Stream. So you may have a sales group and an accounting group, but your channels might be, hey, this is how to use Excel. This is how to use Microsoft Word. And those 2 can overlap and they don't necessarily have to be the same. The next thing that you can see in content is meetings. So now you can record your meetings in Microsoft Teams. And when you're done recording them, they come into Stream. So once they're in Stream, then you can use all these features to organize them. You can put them in channels and groups. Then the other option that you have here is Discover. And the difference between that, so Discover is looking at all the videos in an organization. My content is obviously just looking at what you made. So Discover is designed a little bit differently because it's meant for you to kind of poke around and see what else is in there. So once you have your videos organized, you have that down. Let's talk about a couple of different ways to create them. So left click on create. So we already uploaded a video. It's relatively straightforward. The next thing that you can do is create a live event. Okay, so now you can use Microsoft Stream to do a live event, so you can broadcast yourself in real time. So we'll left click on live event, and then you get this starting screen here that's asking for some details. And the first thing it wants to know before you start is the name of the event. So we're going to act like we're going to announce a new location for our company, right? And you can also do a thumbnail. So I just made one up here. And Midwest, that's where we're locating. I'm not a graphic designer, okay? The video language, let's just leave that as English. And you can specify a time for the event, or you can say as soon as the encoder is connected. So yeah, you may want to schedule this for 11 o'clock on a Thursday, right? But just for purposes of this demo, we're going to say as soon as it's connected. And if we look at the options, you can put a people timeline on it. So that'll generate a timeline of the different people talking in the video once it processes the video. So that won't show up for a little bit. Now let's left click on save right now. And now let's go back to details. So now it needs some information on the actual encoder that you're going to use. When I was setting this up, I downloaded Wirecast S, but I wasn't able to get it to work when you just use this preset, but I was able to get it to work when you configure it manually. So let's do that. It's not very hard. And this is what's called the server ingest URL. This is what we're going to paste into Wirecast S. But first we want to start the setup. So now Microsoft Stream is thinking about what it's going to do, and you have to wait for it to be done before you start to broadcast. And now it says ready to connect. So now that it says that, we'll come to Wirecast S. Ignore what I have in the background there. That's the screen recorder of making this video about making videos. And let's just use this template here. We'll say presentation. We'll click next. And then it asks you some questions about your sources, right? So if this is going to do a presentation, it might be wanting to project your screen. Mine happens to be name this. I'm only using one screen. But if you have more than one, be sure that you capture the right one. And when you are broadcasting live, it would actually be nice to have more than one screen, because you could use one for your content and then the other one for your kind of control room where you would leave something like Wirecast S up and running. But regardless, I have one, so we'll leave it there. You have to tell it what your camera is and what your microphone is. So if you have an external microphone like I do, be sure that you have it selected. Otherwise, it's going to pick up your internal mic and your audio won't sound as good. I have mine disabled, so it can't accidentally pick that up. But be careful with that setting. If you have an external camera, same thing. Let's left click on next. You'll see the main interface of Wirecast, and you get this weird infinity mirror action that happens here because it's recording itself, recording itself, recording. Yeah, you get it. So this will go away as soon as you have what you're presenting in the foreground. And let's talk about what this is looking at right now. So they're in layers. And if you come and look, the camera is first, then the screen, then the microphone. So to configure any of these, let's first switch our view. So in the upper right-hand corner, right now we're looking at what it looks like live. Let's look at a preview. And then when I select the camera layer, for example, you can see there's a frame around the camera here. And then you can change the settings. I have my webcam to low, right? Let's do that. You probably don't want a giant microphone in front of you, but I'm assuming you don't. And you can do some things too, like if you double click on the camera, you'll get a control panel on the left-hand side. Shouldn't dig too deep into these because we're probably not doing how to use Wirecast, we're doing how to use Stream. But let me do one thing, and that's to key out the green screen. It's not doing a very good job of it right now. It's all fuzzy. Maybe I can change some of that. There we go. That's just to show if you want to be on top of your screen. So I do this in my videos where it's that way you can see the content, and maybe you don't want to show what's in the background in your room. You can green screen out, but you need an actual green screen to do that. And you can also just control your camera a little bit where you can kind of crop out the sides. All right, so let's say this is what we want to project. And remember, this background is going to be your presentation, right? But right now it's showing Wirecast because that's what I have maximized on the screen. If I had 2 monitors, I would move this off to the side, but you also wouldn't be able to see the video of making the video if I had 2 monitors. It's saying ready to connect because you're not streaming yet, so you're not sending anything to stream, but it's ready. So what you need to do, because you have this on configure manually, copy this URL. So I just left clicked on copy. We'll go over to Wirecast and we'll select output, output settings. Destination is Microsoft Stream, but in the address, you need to change this. Maybe you can get it to work without changing this, but I wasn't able to. Click OK. And then you want to start the stream. So left click on stream. And let's watch Microsoft Stream on the right. So instead of ready to connect, now it says you're ready to go live. And it needs a little bit to catch up because there's this lag, right? I'm taking Wirecast, I'm sending it out to the web, then it's coming back to stream the way we have it set up right now. But then there you go. So your users aren't going to know there's a lag because they're not watching you live, they're watching this. And you can take stream and switch it to the audience view. The audience view is this on the right-hand side because you haven't started your event yet. So they're still seeing the thumbnail. Let's start the event. It just takes a little bit and then they're going to be seen. Remember what's over here in Wirecast. And here we go. So remember, I have audience view selected. So this in the upper right-hand corner is what they're seeing. And it still looks weird right now because it's my screen where I'm actually just recording this video. So you would go to your presentation and you would maximize it. They would be seeing this and they would be seeing your camera if you had that on. And that's how to stream in Microsoft Stream. So let's talk about what happens afterward. Let's say we went through this event, you made your awesome announcement and you clicked end. And they're just saying, hey, once you end it, you can't restart it. This is a one-time thing. So let's still end it. And then it has to do some thinking here and it's processing the video. And then afterwards, it's going to be in your content. But first it's asking, do you want to trim it? Let's say yes, because you might want to trim it because you just think that the announcement in the middle is important. You might have had some, I don't know, idle chit chat in the beginning. And maybe at the end, you took some questions that you don't want saved. So let's just say we're going to trim this. Left click on apply. And it's saying you're permanently going to lose the beginning and the end if you trim them. That's fine with me. We'll say continue. And it's just telling you that it's working on your video, but it's already here. So this is the recorded version that you're seeing afterward. So if you go to my content and left click on videos, this video is going to be in your catalog, right? And you can change some settings on it now after it's done, but you've already broadcast it. And this is just saved here as another video in Microsoft Stream. You can create a group from here or a channel. We already talked about those a little bit, but let's just create another channel right now so you can see it. So I left click on create a channel, or you could have done it from up here where we just saw it, but we'll do this, create a channel. And this is just some of the parameters that you can use, and this will help you understand them a little bit. So let's just say this is Microsoft Word training. And then in the description, you could maybe use some keywords to help people search for this. So how to use the word processing app, Microsoft Word. So try to get some other keywords in there. And then you can tag it as well. Word processor, I don't know, Word. And you can limit the access to this channel to just a particular group, or you can make it company-wide, right? So if you just wanted to do it to a group and I find that group that I made, only that group is going to be able to see this channel. And then you can also just create a custom image for the channel. I'll just create it now without an image and you can see what happens. So you just get that little generic icon. These other ones, I picked an image. So you can see that. So there's nothing in it yet. If I left click on it, it will bring it up. It'll show that nothing's there. So if you want to go to your content and add something to it, go to your videos. Let's find this one, webcam and screen test. It really doesn't have anything to do with Word, but let's say it does. We'll go over to the right. We'll left click on add to group or channel, and then let's search for that channel. The channel is about Microsoft Word, right? So I typed in MS and it brought up Microsoft Word, and I'll click save. So you go back to the channels, you see Microsoft Word, you see a 1 to see that there's one video in there, and you can left click on it and see the video. So it's a pretty neat way to create a catalog of your videos if you want to. And it doesn't have to be only your videos, so you can organize all of the content into channels, no matter who made it, as long as you have the right permissions. But let's go back and talk about the last option to create content now, which is to record your screen. So I left clicked on that, and they made this super intuitive. I love how they did it. It just pops up. It's a lot like it works in Teams when you want to share your screen. And there's just two options. The one is the camera. So I can put myself on this screen recording. I don't know if that'll work because I'm recording myself right now, and usually only one app can access the camera. So I'm going to turn that off, but you could put yourself in this image to make a screen recording, a lot like exactly what I'm doing right now. And then you can choose what microphone you want. I'm actually going to turn that off as well so I don't double record my sound. It gets all weird. And then all you have are these options, and this is all you would probably want, right? You can just do your entire screen. So that would be everything, including the toolbar. If you had it at the bottom, I have mine hidden. It's going to have the top two, or you can just do an application window. So on mine, this happens to be the browser that you're looking at, and recording my screen and recording my webcam. Or you can just choose a particular tab from your browser. So this is some other things that I have up right now. It's hard for me to think of a situation where you'd want to record a tab that you're not looking at right now. So I would think you'd either want to do an application window or your entire screen. But hey, you do you, right? So if I were to left click on that and do share, we'll try it here. I'm kind of doing a double recording. It says now you can switch to the window that you want to record. So let's just switch the tab, and it will put it over that box because you don't want to record the box showing that you're recording. Do what you want to do, and then come back and click next. And it will ask you if you want to upload it to stream. So let's just say yes, and you'll get similar options to what you had before. We'll just call this test just to get this done, and skip the description, and we'll allow everyone to see it. So let's go ahead and publish it. Click go to video, and there you go. So you've recorded your screen in Microsoft Stream, and you can organize it just like any of the other ones. It takes a little bit of time to show up, but once it does, you're up and running. So that's how to use Microsoft Stream. And if you're just looking to organize your day and organize your task using Office 365, this next video is going to show you how to use Microsoft To Do. Thanks for watching.